of free function. Finally, what is my conclusion? Malloc function created dynamically memory. Free function used which memory used by malloc, that memory to be free or delete the memory. At end of the program, no memory wastages. Memory bytes can be saved. What is the problem of arrays? Array is a fixed size. Once you allocate the size, that much of memory bytes are created. If used also, unused also, memory wastage. Once you define the size array, you can't increase the size of array or you can't decrease the size of array. At that time, what is the problem now? That memory wastages you have. That is the reason you can go for malloc function. Array can be created, malloc function, memory can be saved. Now, malloc function, calloc function, free function with the help of pointers. Pointer only to create the dynamic memory allocation. Now, I want to discuss with how to create a dynamic memory allocation using structure variables. Previously, I discussed with normal variables, array variables. Dynamic memory created integer type, character type, float type, those are predefined data types. But I want to discuss with structure, make a dynamic memory, it is called as user defined data type. Structure is a user defined, union also user defined, enum also user defined, int, char, float built in data types. Now, I want to create structure with a dynamic memory allocation. How to make of that? You see the syntax, how to make structure with a dynamic memory allocation. How to make of that structure with a dynamic memory allocation? Syntax. First we create the structure. Structure is a user defined data type. It is a collection of different type of elements. How to make a structure? Struct a keyword, name of the structure. Inside of the structure, data type, elements. Data type element 1, data type element 2. Structure declaration ended with semicolon. Inside of main, I want to call the structure variable, struct name of the structure, after that pointer variable to be declared, struct name and pointer. But before that pointer, first I want to create normal variable, tag name. First I want to create the structure normal variable tag name. After that I want to create the structure pointer variable, struct name star ptr. How to allocate the memory, structure pointer memory, how to allocate. What is the syntax of that? Pointer equal to, now your pointer is structure type of pointer. Pointer equal to which type of pointer? Struct name star, I mean structure pointer, malloc, malloc function, size of is a operator, struct whatever name of the structure, that name, structure name, which is the actual name of structure, comma, to use with into number of values. I mean your structure, how many records, how many values, number of records or number of values. Now, this is the syntax of structure with the pointer dynamic memory allocation. Once you create the malloc function structure variable, how to free the memory? Free of pointer, structure pointer to be free. Initially memory created by malloc, at end of the program memory destroyed by free function, free of the pointer. Now, see that how it is working of structure with pointer. Suppose I created with one structure. Now, I want to make one structure here. What is my structure? Check it. Struct, what is my name of the structure I have? I want to make a structure, employee structure I want to create. Struct employee, employee is a structure. In that employee structure, employee number, integer type, employee name, character string, 10 characters, employee float, salary. Totally in this structure, employee structure, 3 variables I declare. Employee number, integer type variable. How much memory allocated by compiler? 2 bytes. Employee name is a character variable 10. 10 means 10 characters. How much memory creates? 10 bytes. 10 bytes memory creates. And what is one more I have? Float variable. Salary is a float. How much memory creates? 4 bytes. When you see the structure employee, if I want to make a structure employee in the compiler memory, how much memory require? Integer for 2 bytes, character string 10 bytes, float salary 4 bytes. Totally this entire structure, how much memory require? 2 plus 10 plus 4. Totally 16 bytes memory required. 16 bytes memory required this. Totally the structure occupied 16 bytes memory. Now this 16 bytes memory I want to allocate with the help of dynamic memory allocation function. Which is the dynamic memory allocation function? MALLOC, malloc function to use. Using malloc function I want to create the 16 bytes memory. After usage of the 16 bytes, I want to destroy that. One employee 16 bytes. Suppose if I want to create 2 employees, 2 into 16, 32 bytes. Mostly dynamic memory preferable structures and arrays. Because of structure occupied more memory bytes in the compiler, array also occupied more memory bytes. That is the reason structure preferred to the dynamic memory, and for the array also preferred to the dynamic memory. No memory wastages. Struct employee. Now here I used a struct employee. What is the employee variable I used? Struct employee E1, that is for one employee. Now this one employee for how many bytes occupied? 16 bytes. If I created another employee E2, again 16 bytes. If I created another employee, another tag, again 16 bytes. Totally here 3 employees I want to enter. Each employee 16 bytes. 16 into 3. At that time you have to create 48 bytes memory required. If it is statically memory creates, it's a memory wastages. 48 bytes memory wastages. I want to save the 48 bytes memory with the help of malloc function. Dynamic memory malloc function I want to use. It is very useful to save the memory bytes because structure occupied more memory. You see the example program now, how to create of structure with a dynamic memory. How to create of that structure with a dynamic memory. Memory saving purpose to create of this. You see that memory saving purpose. Write a program to demonstrate structure with a dynamic memory allocation. Malloc function, calloc function or free function to use. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h. Now I want to create one more header file. What is my another header file? alloc.h, alloc.h. Because of dynamic memory function available, alloc.h header file. C author created dynamic memory functions under this library alloc.h. Now I want to define struct name employee, which is already explained. Int employee number as a integer, character employee name, it's a string, and float salary, it's a float. Now for the employee number as a integer type 2 bytes, employee name as a character string 10 bytes because each character 1 byte, employee salary as a float 4 bytes, 2 plus 10 plus 4 16 bytes. Now inside main I want to call the structure variable. Struct, what is my variable? EMP for employee. I want to define as star E1, it's a pointer. Normally if I defined with the normal tag, if I want to work with normal tag E1, but I want to define with the structure pointer tag star E1. Here star E1 indicates pointer tag, structure pointer tag. Now I want to allocate the memory of this. How to allocate the memory of E1? E1 equal to, E1 is a pointer, it's a structure pointer, E1 equal to struct. What is my name of structure? Employee, originally struct employee star. What is the meaning of this statement now? E1 tag, what type of pointer? Structure pointer. E1 tag is a structure pointer. MALLOC, malloc, memory allocation, size of, malloc size of, what type of structure? Employee structure size. After that I want to go for into number of records 1. What is meant by 1? Indicates 1 employee. If I want to create with into 2 means 2 employees. If I want to create 5 employees, 5. If I enter the 1 employee details. Actually 1 employee means how much memory create? 16 bytes. If I use 2 employees, 32 bytes. If I use 3 employees, 48 bytes. Similarly remaining. N number of employees you can create dynamic memory. Close that. After that I want to enter the details. Already I created structure with employee, E1 pointer variable. Enter employee details. How to enter the employee details? Scanf. How to enter the employee details here? Percentage D. It is called as employee number to enter, percentages. It's called as employee name to be entered, percentage F. It's employee salary to be entered. But in this case I want to enter the E1 detail, E1 dot employee number, E1 dot employee name. There is no ampersand symbol. Here no need to mention the ampersand symbol because it's already pointer. E1 is already pointer, don't put the ampersand symbol. E1 dot salary. Once I enter the details, I want to print the details. Employee number equal to percentage D, employee name equal to percentages, it's a string. Salary equal to percentage of float. While printing of these details, how to print the structure pointer details? How to print of that? E1 arrow symbol to be denoted. What is meant by arrow symbol? Structure elements accessed with pointers. Normal elements accessed with the dot operator, but structure pointer accessed with arrow. Employee number E1 arrow, employee name E1 arrow, employee salary. After printing of these, I want to clear the memory. Free function to be used, free of E1. When I mentioned of this malloc function, dynamically memory creates. How much memory created here? 16 bytes memory created. 16 bytes memory created. 16 bytes memory created. After that memory creation, I print the values. Then I want to declear the memory or destroy the memory. Here again how much memory destroy? 16 bytes memory deleted or destroys. Finally end of the get ch. Now you see that in this program which I am creating, struct employee structure I creating. Employee structure different type of elements I have. Employee number as a integer type 2 bytes, employee name as a character string 10 bytes, employee salary as a float 4 bytes. Totally for the structure of employee, how much memory requires? 16 bytes. But the 16 bytes memory I want to allocate at the runtime, not for design time, with the help of dynamic memory function. Struct employee star E1. What is meant by star E1? Pointer tag, structure pointer tag. If I mentioned with E1, it's a normal tag, value method. If I mention with star E1, the values are referred with help of address, pointer method. How to allocate the memory of these? E1 equal to, E1 is a structure pointer, E1 equal to, how it is referred? E1 equal to struct employee star. Your pointer is structure employee pointer, MALLOC, memory allocation, dynamically. Size of is a operator, struct employee how much memory? 16. The size of employee 16. What is mean by into 1? One employee details can enter. I mean 116 bytes. If I use 2 means 2 into 16, 32 bytes, 2 employees. If I giving 3, 3 employees. If I giving n number of employees. Based on programmer requirement. But in this example 16 bytes memory created, I want to enter the details. How to enter that? Scanf. Percentage D integer, percentage S for name reading, percentage F for salary reading. How to read of that? E1 dot employee number, E1 dot employee name, E1 dot salary. But while inputting of these, don't use the ampersand symbol because of this E1 already pointer address creates. Once I input the number and name and salary, how to print the details? E1 arrow. What is the indication of arrow? Structure pointer elements called with the arrow operator. Value it address. E1 arrow E name, E1 arrow salary. Once I print the employee details, how to clear the memory? Free function to be used. What is the importance of free function? Which memory already allocated by malloc, that memory to be destroyed? E1. Initially 16 bytes memory created, but finally 16 bytes memory destroys after printing of these. Similarly, n number of emails also use. Suppose in this program, instead of malloc, I can use calloc also memory creation, CALLOC, calloc. Now previously I used a malloc function, but instead of that I replaced the calloc function. When I use the calloc function, size of structure employee, comma symbol to be used, not a star, comma to be denoted. What is the difference of malloc and calloc? Malloc function garbage values also memory allocates. Unknown values also memory allocates. But calloc function, if you assign the value, then only memory allocates. Garbage value never allocate the memory. If you assign the value, then only allocate the memory. Now here I used a malloc function, means into will be used. Finally, instead of malloc also, calloc also memory will be created. Anyway, malloc also memory creation, calloc also memory creation, both are dynamically created memory. But working process is same. Finally, destroy the memory. Now you see in this program which I discussed while working of structure with pointer, here, what to be discussed now? Generally normal structure, more memory occupation. Whenever you create the normal structure variable, it occupied more memory. If I created employee structure, static memory means 16 bytes memory wastage. One employee for 16 bytes. Because of integer 2 bytes, string I used 10 characters 10 bytes, float salary I used 4 bytes. If I want to enter the one employee, 16 bytes. If I want to enter multiple employees, suppose I want to enter with 3 employees, 48 bytes memory wastage. If I want to enter 100 employees, it's more memory bytes are wastage. It's very problem, memory will be wastages. That is the reason which is better to use dynamic memory allocation with the help of structure pointers. Whenever I use the structure dynamic memory allocation, using malloc function, our required 16 bytes memory created. After usage of that, finally you can destroy the memory with the help of free function. Execution time you can allocate it, you can get the answers. finally you can delete it, you can remove the answers. At that time memory bytes will be saved. Mostly in the C programming language, dynamic memory used for structures and arrays. If you want to understand with the data structure programs, C language data structure programs mostly used for dynamic memory allocation for structures. These are very important because of to understand the data structures. Data structure means everything is pointers. You want to allocate the memory dynamically, you don't want to waste the memory. That is the reason these functions are used, malloc, calloc and free functions. What is the difference of array and structure? Array means the same type of elements stored into single variable. If I created integer array, integer of 10, I mean 10 into 2, 20 bytes memory creates. If I created structure employee, different type of elements, it is also more memory wastage. But anyway, arrays also, structure also, memory wastages are there, memory leakages are there. That memory will be cleared with the help of dynamic memory allocation functions. But results are no difference. If I run the structure with normal program and structure with dynamic memory allocation, no difference. Just you can read the inputs, number, name, salary, and you can print the outputs, number, name and salary. Inputs and outputs are no difference. But which is the difference? Internally memory storage difference. Memory can be clear with the help of dynamic memory. That is the reason recommended for structures, recommended for arrays also. Now you see, now I want to explain with one more example program for dynamic memory allocation. Now dynamic memory only I want to explain with one more simple program. Check it. What is my program? Write a program to demonstrate. Write a program to demonstrate array only, array using dynamic memory allocation. Previously structure I used dynamic memory, but this is array. Array with a dynamic memory allocation. How it is works? Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h as it is header files. After that I want to use with alloc.h because of dynamic memory I want to create. Hash include alloc.h. Inside of that, now I want to create with a main function. Inside of main only I want to create dynamic memory int. It's called as integer pointer. Now I want to create with a int star x. What is mean by star x? Indicates x is a pointer, it's an integer pointer. But in this case x pointer as well as array also. I want to enter x pointer with array, I mean many elements. How to mention the size? N. N is the size of the array. After that I for index, I want to display the index variable. How to read the array elements? I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n minus 1, I plus plus. After that one more variable I declare j variable. If I is 0, j is I plus 1. If I is 0 position, j is I plus 1, I mean second position. One more variable temp variable, interchanging purpose, temp variable interchanging. Now see here what is my request of? I want to create a pointer with array. This x is array as a pointer, size is for n, I is for reading the array elements, indexes, j is used if I is at 0, j is at 2. If I is at 0, j is 1. If I is at 1, j is 2. One more variable temp variable, interchanging purpose, I position j, j position I. Because of I want to sort the array elements. Now in this program I want to create array with the dynamic memory allocation and sort the elements, sorting of array elements. How to make of that process? First I want to enter the size of array, enter array size. Initially I am not defined any size. Suppose if it is x as a normal variable, normal array, you have to mention some size like x of 10, I mean 10 into 2, 20 bytes. If I use x of 100, each integer 2 bytes, 100 into 2, 200 bytes. But initially I am not defined the size. That is the reason enter size. Scanf %d ampersand n is the size of array. Now here n value decided at runtime, array size to be defined. After that I want to create a dynamic memory for array, integer array. Int star, it is a integer pointer, malloc, malloc, memory allocation. Otherwise you can use calloc also, cache allocation, as your wish. Anyway you can use with malloc function. Size of operator, size of is a operator. What is the reason of size of operator? Your variable is how much memory occupied, it indicates by size of integer into n. N indicates n number of values. Based on your array size only, how much memory required, that will be allocated. Now suppose size of integer is 2, size of integer is 2, like 2 into my n value 5, suppose 2 into 5, my n value 5, suppose 2 into 5, 10 bytes, like this it will be used. You can use size of int also directly, otherwise 2 also directly, anything can be used. Based on our request, anything can be used, both are same. Once I allocate the memory for this x array pointer, then I want to enter the array elements. Enter array elements. How to enter of this array elements here? For loop to be used. I equal to 0. Every array index starts from 0. Array elements index ends with the size minus 1, I mean n minus 1, I plus plus. How to read of the array elements? Scanf. %d, % means all array elements are integers. After that x plus I. What is meant by x plus I here? Actually x is a pointer array. X is a pointer array, don't mention ampersand symbol here. Because of x is already pointer, don't make the address, it is already address. Initially which address will be referred? I equal to 0, I mean first index address. Next I increments, second index address. X plus 0, I mean first index address. X plus 1, second index address. X is x plus 2, third element address. Like that n minus 1 can be enter the elements. But this is for reading the array. After read, I want to calculate sorting of array elements. Sorting of array elements I want to calculate. What is meant by sorting? Arranging the elements either ascending order or descending order. Sorting called as I want to arrange the array elements either ascending order or descending order. How to make of the logic? I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n minus 1, I plus plus. Now this for loop is used to read the 0 index to last element. One more for loop also I used. One more for loop, j equal to I plus 1. What is meant by j equal to I plus 1? Suppose my index at 0, j is at 0 plus 1, second element. If I is at 0, first element, at the time j is at 1, second element. J less than or equal to n minus 1, j plus plus. If I want to sort the array elements, nested for loop to be used. Nested for loop. What is meant by nested for loop? One for loop processed with another for loop, two for loops. Here I indicates 0, I mean first element, j indicates I plus 1, second element. Similarly, I is at 1, j is at 2. Now I want to compare this. If how to compare that? Star x plus I. What is meant by star indicates here? Value at address of. If there is no star, address only calling. Array pointer address only calling, but I want to call the value at address. Star x plus I greater than I used star x plus j. Star x plus I greater than star x plus j. Whenever star x plus I calling, first element address, first element will be calling. Whenever star x plus j, second element is calling. This is value at the first index, this is value at second index. If the first element is greater than second element, interchange the elements. Whenever first element is greater than second element, position to be interchanged. How to interchange? Temp equal to star x plus I mean first element. Under temp first element, 0 index element. Under x plus I, which to be copy star x plus j. That means under first element, second element copy. Actually, under temp variable, first element will be copy. Under first position element, second element will be copy. After that, finally, star x plus j equal to temp. I mean second position which will be copy, temp. Already temp for which element is there? First element. Finally, what is my conclusion? Using this expression statements, first element position change to second, second element position change to the first. Temp equal to star x plus I equal to star x plus j equal to temp. Interchange the elements. Whenever this condition is true, interchange the elements. Finally, I want to print the sorted list. Once interchange the elements, I want to print the sorted list. Arranging the elements in order. How to arrange that? I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n minus 1. Again each element to be read. How to print off that sorted list? Printf. All elements are integers. Percentage d backslash n. How to print off that sorted list? Star x plus I value at address of. Finally, after sorting of array elements, my complete memory to be destroyed. Which memory allocated by with the malloc? That memory to destroy. How to destroy? Free function, free of x. What is meant by free of x? X array, how much memory created, that should be clear, that should be deleted. Get ch to get the output screen. Now you see that when I save and run this program now, file save. What is my program? I used dynamic memory only with array sorting method. 3.c, dynamic 3.c. Now I want to compile and run this dynamic 3.c. Dynamic 3.c, dynamic to be process. Compile it and run it. Now compile it and run it. Enter array size 5 elements. I enter 5 elements. Whenever I mention the array size 5, how much memory created? Using malloc function 5 into 2. Because of size of integer 2 bytes. 5 into 2, 10 bytes. 10 bytes memory allocated. Runtime. I want to enter. What is my elements I giving? 10, 14, 13, 11, 12. You see the problem here, 10, 14, 13, 11, 12. But these elements are not sorted order. If I press enter, the elements are sorted order. Before these elements are unsorted order, 10, 14, 13, 11, 12. But after sorting logic, it will be arranged in order, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And finally, initially my size is 5, 5 into 2, 10 bytes. 10 bytes memory created. At end of the program, 10 bytes memory cleared. It will be deleted. Finally, for this program, there is a memory wastage not available, no memory wastage. Because of dynamic memory allocation function I used, here malloc function I used and a free function used. That is the reason there is no any memory wastages. Now you see here this is sorting to be done. If suppose I want to work with the searching, suppose, that is also I can process. How to make of the searching process? Like in the normal program also already discussed, NI and one more element key for what? Searching element process. And one more is flag variable also I created, flag equal to 0. Previously sorting logic I done. Now I want to take with searching, array with pointer, dynamic. First I want to create the array size, next I want to allocate the memory for array, and after that enter the array elements. What is the next logic to be changed here? Enter the key elements. Now here I want to enter the key elements. Printf enter key element. Which element to be searched? Enter the key. How to enter that? %d ampersand key to read the key. Is it a key matching into the array or not? How to verify? I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus, if. What is the logic here? Star x plus I. What is meant by star x plus I? Value at address of equal to key. Whenever value at address of equal to key, flag value becomes 1. Whenever flag value becomes 1, break. I don't want to continue the next element, break. Finally, if flag is equal to 1, I want to print the message search is success or key element is found. Else. If it is search flag is not 0, sorry, flag is not 1, key element not found. Key element is not found. You don't want to process of that. Finally, free of x, memory to destroy, and get ch to end of the main. Now you see in this used dynamic memory allocation only how to search the elements. Array also used, pointer also used, dynamic memory allocation with search. Now I want to work with dynamic 4.c. I used dynamic 4.c. Now I want to compile and run this program now, dynamic 4.c, which I used here, dynamic 4.c. Search process. Here I want to use the search. Suppose I enter size 10. 10 means n value 10 means 10 into 2. Dynamically 20 bytes memory creates. Because my n value 10, dynamically 20 bytes created. I used some elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Enter the key 9. Key element is found. Totally 20 bytes memory created. Searching element also found. After that, clear the memory. How much memory cleared if this 20 bytes memory cleared? Because of I used a dynamic memory allocation, that memory will be cleared. Suppose if I want to create with a dynamic memory with two variables, to demo dynamic memory only with the two array pointers, with two arrays also create. Using two arrays also you can create dynamic memory, or three arrays also you can use dynamic memory. Three arrays I want to create dynamic memory use. How to make of that three arrays? Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, after that alloc.h, allocation.h. Inside of main function, now I want to create with int star a pointer, star b pointer, star c pointer, array pointer, I for index, n for size. I want to read the dynamic memory for three arrays. First I want to enter the size of array, enter n, scanf %d ampersand n, size of array. How to make a dynamic memory for a pointer dynamic, a equal to int star malloc size of integer into n number of elements. Similarly, B also dynamic memory, MALLOC malloc, size of integer into n, it is a B array. Similarly, C array also dynamic memory. Totally 3 arrays are there, 3 arrays dynamic memory. Now I want to work with, first I want to enter first array elements. Enter first array elements. How to enter that first array elements? For I equal to 0, I less than or equal to n minus 1, I plus plus. Scanf percentage %d. Now already A is a pointer array, no ampersand symbol, A plus I, because it is already pointer A plus I. Similarly, I want to enter with the B array also, B array input. Similarly, enter the second array, B array input. What is a B array? B plus I. Now for the third array, addition I want to calculate. For the third array, addition of 2 arrays. Matrix addition I want to calculate. Now here third array is addition array, or I used the result array. Result array I want to use. Addition of 2 arrays. How to make of that addition of 2 arrays here? Star C plus I equal to star C plus I equal to star A plus I value at address plus star B plus I value at B address. Addition of 2 arrays. What is the main formula for this? C of I equal to A of I plus B of I. If it is normal array, C of I equal to A of I plus B of I, but it is a pointer array. That is the reason star, value at address. I want to print array elements. What I want to print? Star C plus I. Finally, to close the free function. Free means memory to clear. Free of A, free of B, free of C. All memories will be clear. Get CH to end of the main. Totally in this program, first array dynamic memory, second array dynamic memory, both arrays add addition and allocate the dynamic memory. All memories to be destroyed with the help of free function. Now I want to save this dynamic 5.c, dynamic memory allocation only 5.c. If I create with array dynamic 3 arrays totally created, memory saving purpose. If I enter the n is 4 I giving. First array how much memory? 2 into 4, 4 values, 2 into 4 8 bytes. Second array also 8 bytes, third array also 8 bytes. 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24 bytes memory allocated dynamically. First array how many elements? 4 elements. First array 4 elements. Second array also 4 elements. But third array calculated 2, 4, 6, 8. Third array 2, 4, 6, 8. Totally 24 bytes memory used and saved. Finally, what is my conclusion here? Whenever you are creating with a dynamic memory allocation, array also you can save the memory bytes, and structure also you can save the memory bytes. Mostly C programming language, which are most memory bytes are occupied, arrays are most memory bytes are occupied, structure also more number of bytes are occupied, memory wastages. That should be clear with the help of dynamic memory allocations. That's all for today, and tomorrow session, in the next session I will continue for file handling. Pointer concepts are completed here. In the next session I will continue for how to make a files in C language. Thank you for this video. Hello students, welcome to the C language training program. Today I want to discuss with how to create the files in C programming language. Now the last sessions I discussed with the pointers. Pointer is nothing but address of the variable. Pointer is nothing but to locate the value based on the address. Pointer types are there. One is for single pointer, another one is double pointer. What is meant by single pointer? To point out the value based on single address. What is meant by double pointer? To point out the value based on address of. What is the advantages of pointers? Based on the address to refer the value. It is easy to process to the compiler. Generally normal programs are value method. If you are using with pointers, it is a call by reference. Now the pointer, different type of pointers you have. How to create function with pointer, how to create array using pointers, and how to create a structure using pointers, and how to create the dynamic memory allocations. Dynamic memory allocation, how to create some memory functions you have. Which are the dynamic memory allocation functions are there? Malloc function, calloc function, realloc function, free functions you have. Those functions available on which header file? alloc.h. Dynamic memory is nothing but how to make a memory execution of the program, that will be described by dynamic memory. What is the advantage of dynamic memory? Save the memory bytes, memory can be saved, and how much memory completed, how much memory free, that can be described with the help of dynamic memory allocation. Malloc, calloc, realloc, free, those functions available on alloc.h. Finally, what is the main usage of pointers in C programming language? If you want to save the memory bytes with the help of dynamic memory allocation using pointers, and wherever your value is there, the value can be traced based on the memory address. It is easy to process. Generally variables are created by user, but the pointers are created by compiler. Compiler recognize. Now today I want to discuss with one more important concept, how to make a files in C programming language. How to make a files in C programming language. What is mean by file? File called as what? Generally file is nothing but a storing some information, any kind of information, maybe text data. Text means alphabets, numbers and symbols. File is nothing but it's a collection of some information. What kind of information? Maybe alphabets, numbers and symbols. Every file loaded under which location? Suppose if you go for notepad, in the notepad program, if you want to make a file, how to make a file? Go to file menu, new option. If you want to make a file in the notepad, just you go to the file, new, and you type some content, some information to be typed. Once you type some information, then you go for file save option. Whenever you click the save option, the content will be saved some file name. You have to enter some file name. Whenever you save the notepad file, what is the extension it is created? .txt. .txt called as text file. Whenever you save the notepad file, file name .txt. Once you save the file, the file is stored under which location? Any memory device. Which location you can save? Either hard disk drive. Hard disk drive is nothing but local disk, C drive, D drive, E drive. Or you want to store with secondary memory storage devices. Secondary storage memory devices like pen drive, CD or any other. You want to store of the files, either local disk memory or secondary storage device, external storage device. But once you save the file in that location, maybe C drive or D drive, that file is permanently stored in the location. One day you save the file, anytime you can open the file, any day you can open it, any day you can modify the content. Modify is nothing but you can add the new lines, or you want to modify the lines, or you want to remove the lines, and you want to print the data, that is also possible. Finally, what is the advantage of file? What is the need of files? File is nothing but one storage mechanism. File is nothing but collection of information stored into some locations, either permanent memory devices like hard disk drives, C drive, D drive, or you want to store with secondary memory devices like pen drive or CD. But once you store the file, it is permanently loaded in the memory. Anytime you can open the file, you can read some contents, or you can modify the contents, or you can delete the contents, and you can anytime you can open the file, you can print also. With the help of printer, you can print also. Finally, what is the reason of files? Store the data once. Manipulations done. Open, manipulate, read it, print it. That is possible with the help of files. Now I want to discuss why you have to go for the files in C programming language. What is the need of file handling in C language? Suppose today I created one C program. What is my program? Addition of two numbers. I want to add the two numbers. Suppose I am enter the input value 10 and one more input is 20. If I inputted 10 and 20, what is the addition value? 10 plus 20, 30. What is my simple program? Addition of two numbers program. That program I saved add.c. I saved with add.c program. Once I compile that, there is no error. When I run the program, it is asking input message, enter a comma b. Now I want to enter the a value 10, b value 20, two inputs. Suppose my output variable is c, a plus b, I mean 10 plus 20, 30. Okay, fine. When I run the program, you input the values and you are getting answer. But when again when I want to enter the inputs, again I want to enter another inputs, again to compile the program, again to run the program. That means what? Every day whatever C program you are executed, the C program executed, inputs and outputs are not saved permanently. Every day you can compile the program and run the program, you can input some details and you are getting some answers. But that input and output information permanently not stored. It is just temporarily, you can input and output and you can get the answer. But what is my request now? Today addition of two numbers program I done. Two numbers I want to add. Whatever inputs I giving and whatever answer I am getting, that I want to store it into some file. That information, whatever inputs and whatever outputs, I want to keep into some files. Why? Because whenever I saved that inputs and outputs into the files, that is permanently stored. Anytime I can open that. In my program, what is my input and what is my output, I can open, and that I can print also, and that I can modify also. Finally, what is my conclusion? Why you have to go for file handling? What is the need of file handling? Every C program input and outputs permanently you want to send to the hard disk drives or pen drive or CD. Every C program inputs and outputs you want to store it into some location. With the help of file I want to store either hard disk drive location, C drive, D drive or pen drive. Once you save the data, anytime you can open it and you can print it and modify it and remove it. That is the reason you can go for file handling. Storage purpose. Storage your C program inputs and outputs and manipulate it and print it. Actually, two types of files can be managed. While working of C programming, two types of files can be managed. One is for text files. Your input and output data can be stored into text files. Text files called as notepad files. Your C program input and outputs can be stored into text files. I mean notepad can be saved. One more type of file, data files, .dat. What is meant by .dat data files? Your C program inputs and outputs stored into hard disk drive, separate file, separate location, .dat. It is separate format, it is stored .dat, separate format. The .dat file can open with any program. Finally, my conclusion, two files can be created. One is for text files, another one .dat files. Now, for the every C program file handling, C program inputs and outputs, how to send it to the notepad. Otherwise, in the notepad I created some content, the content how to send it to the C program. Notepad data how to work with C program, and C program data how to send to notepad. These are the major operations while working of file handling. Suppose if I want to work with a file handling in C language, you have predefined functions. If you want to work with file handling in C program, first to be understand some predefined functions. Which are the predefined functions are there? fopen, fclose, fgetC, fputC, fscanf, fprintf, fread, fwrite, many file handling functions. Those functions are already defined by C language author. Under which other file those functions are already defined? std lib.h, std io.h, standard input output header file, standard library header file. In that you have some file functions. That is the reason to use for file handling. Now, you see what is the reason of file handling. See some example, like check it now. Suppose I created one simple program. I want to add with two numbers I want to add, std io.h, after that conio.h, console input and output h. What is the reason of file handling that I want to discuss now? First I created one simple stdio conio. Inside of main function, first I declare two variables, int a, b, c, three variables. I created three variables, a is 10, b is 5, c equal to a plus b. A is one variable integer, a is 10 I inputted, b is 5, c equal to a plus b. I want to printf. I want to print addition value. What is my message? Addition value is, I want to print that addition is %d because integer c to be print, get ch to end of this. Now, this program I saved, what is my name of this program? Suppose add.c. This program I saved add.c. I typed this program a, b, c, three variables. First I inputted a is 10, b is 5, c equal to a plus b, c is my output, a, b are the inputs. When I compile this program, add.c I saved. When I compile this program, which is created? Compiler created one file, add.obj file. Whenever I compile the C program, the compiler, these all lines convert to the machine language. At that time one file is generated, add.obj file, machine understandable file. If there is no error, while compilation there is no error, which file is created? add.exe, executable file. If there is no compile time error, you can get the answer, exe file generated. Now, at that exe, what is my answer is coming? This is my output screen. It is a C monitor output screen. Suppose it's my C language output screen. This is my screen of the output. In that output screen, what is the answer coming? 10 and 5. What is the answer coming? Addition is 15. Addition is 15. This is my answer. Suppose once I run this program, again if I open this program, again I compile obj, again I run this, again the same output. But this output is not saved any location. This output is temporarily get the answer. because it's a exe file, just it will be get the answer, but it is not stored anywhere. What is my request of this? Now in this program, whatever output is there, this output I want to send it to the file. What is my request now? This output I want to send it to the file. Why you have to send to the file? This program output I want to show on the monitor, and this program I want to print on the paper. On the paper I want to print. Suppose my request is every program inputs and outputs separate I want to make on the paper. That is possible with the help of file handling. Now this data I want to send it to the some location, files to be stored. What is my file name? Suppose I want to use with file file .txt. What is meant by .txt? Notepad file. Suppose I used file 1.txt. This is my name of the file our created. Now this output I want to send it to the file 1.txt. Now this file where I want to save? C drive or D drive. Whenever this output is stored into file 1.txt in C drive, it is permanently loaded. Once the permanently loaded, again you can open the file, again you print off that, or again you can add some content. You can add off any content, or you want to change off this content, you can change. Further modifications possible. The same output file you can open and further modifications possible. You can add the lines, modify the lines, print the lines. That is the reason you can go for file handling in C language. What is the reason of file handling? First I created some program, normal C language program, addition of two numbers add.c. Once I save that, once I compile that add.obj file. Whenever object file is created, there is no error, exe file generated. When I execute that, you are getting output screen. In that output screen, your answer will be coming. What is your answer? Addition is 15. But this screen output is not permanently stored. Temporarily, this time only you can get the answer. If I want to get the same answer, again you compile, again to run. Every day to compile, every day to run, then only get the answers. But my request is this output I want to make on the paper. I want to submit my printouts. I want to submit my reports. These input and outputs I want to show on the reports. That is possible with the help of file handling. First this content I want to send it to file1.txt. File1.txt means it is which file? Notepad file. In Notepad I want to save this file. Where location? Which location? C drive. I mean hard disk location I want to save. Hard disk or local drive I want to save. Once I save this, anytime you can open it, you can print it, you can modify it, you can delete it. That is the reason you can go for file handling. Not only this program, any program to be work with the same. But how to work off this file handling in C programming language? To require, you have to use with some special pointers are there, some special pointers to be used. You have to use with some special pointers. You see that which are the pointers you have while working off files. While working off files to use with some special pointers, pointer to be processed. You see the pointers now. While working off files, you have to use with some pointer required. That pointer is called as file pointer. If I want to work with the file programs, you have to work with a file pointer to be discussed. Now listen, generally what is meant by file pointer? Pointer is nothing but address of the variable. Generally pointer is nothing but address of the variable. What is meant by file pointer? Address of the file. Which file I want to read or which file I want to write? Address of the file. But the file address is which location? Either hard disk drive or pen drive or CD. What is the meaning of file pointer? To point out the file address. In your memory, point out the file address. What is the syntax of file pointer? If you want to work with file pointer, what is the syntax? File, uppercase letters. File is uppercase letter, After that star fp called as file pointer. How to work with file pointers now? File pointer is nothing but address of the file. Wherever your file is stored, you want to read it or write it or modify it. FILG file, it's uppercase, star fp, file pointer. How to work off this file pointer? File pointer equal to fopen. One function is there, fopen. What is mean by fopen? File open. Fopen called as file open. I mean which file to be open? That file is on which mode to be open. That should be mentioned. Suppose every file fopen function 2 arguments require. First argument is called as file name. Second argument is called as mode of the file. First argument is called as file name. What is my file name? I used suppose my file name is abc.txt. My file name, this is called as file name, this file to be open. Now this file is to open under which mode? Mode of the file. What is my mode? I used R. What is meant by R? Indicates read the file. While working of files, file modes you have. Which are the file modes are there? What are the file modes are there? 3 types of file modes you have. What is the first type of mode? W. What is meant by W mode? Write the new file. Write the new file and store some content. W mode called as write the new file and store some content. And one more is R. What is the R? Indicates read the file. R indicates read the file. Which file is already there? That file to be read. What is one more operation you have? A. What is meant by A? Indicates append the file. What is meant by append here? Append the content into the file. W called as write the new file and store some content. R called as read the file. Which file already there? That should be read. A called as append the file. Append means which file already there, you can add the matter. Append the contents to the file. Append the contents to the file. Finally, what is the meaning of this function? Now, fp equal to, I mean file pointer. File pointer is open to the file. Which file to be open? abc.txt. Now, this abc.txt is a file name. Path, suppose this file is C:. This file is available on C drive. It is verifying. With the help of pointer, it is verifying address. C drive abc.txt file available or not, verified. With the help of file pointer, it is verified. Which are the file operation modes? Second one is operation mode. W means this file is newly created in that location. R is nothing but this file already there in that location. I mean in the C drive this file already there, that should be open. Open the contents. What is meant by A? Indicates append the content into the file. You want to add the matter into the file, existing file to be append the contents. These are the 3 operation modes while working of files. Now every file handling what to be used? File pointer to be used. File pointer indicates is to find out the address of the file. Address of the file to be find out. You see that whenever you are working with files, you have some function to be used. You have some functions are used. You see the functions. Which are the functions you have? Major functions are there. Which are the major functions are there? What is my first type of function? You have fgetC. FgetC function you have. FgetC. What is meant by fgetC? F is nothing but file. Get is nothing but reading. C is nothing but character. File read characters. What is meant by fgetC function now? Which file already there? Within the file I want to read the characters. How to read off the characters? What is the syntax of these? Syntax of this function: fgetC, fgetC, fp called as file pointer. Here I want to use for fp, file pointer. Now that characters I want to read into one variable, ch. What is the meaning of this? I want to read the character from the files and that is reading into ch. F get C. What is mean by F of file? Get is nothing but reading. C is nothing but character. I want to read the character from the files. One by one I want to read. Stored into ch variable. That is for F get C syntax. If I want to go for F put C, one more function you have. F put C. What is mean by F file? Put is nothing but printer. C is nothing but characters. File print characters. How it is working of F put C? Now the previous function within the file data will be reading, but this function to the file you want to write the characters to the file. How to write that? F put C. What is meant by F put C? File print characters. Each character, whatever you typed the characters, each character send it to the files, file pointer. What is the meaning of that? Whatever characters you typed, that is sending to the files. Now what is the major difference of F get C, F put C? Listen, F get C called as I am creating already some file. Within the file each character send it to the ch variable. Character by character I want to read into ch. What is the reason of F put C? Whatever characters I typed in the C monitor, whatever characters I typed, that character send it to the files. One is for writing. Now this is for reading the characters. This is for writing the characters. But anyway, both are writing also, reading also. Which to be used? File pointers, some file to be used. Then only you can run. What is one more type of function you have? Under file handling only, you have one more function is that. What is one more type of function you have while working of files? One more type of function is there, that is called as F. That is called as F scanf. F scanf function. F scanf function. Generally, what is mean by scanf function now? To read the data from the variables. Suppose in C monitor, if I want to read the data at runtime with the help of scanf. How to run the scanf now? Scanf format specifier. If I want to read the integer %d, if I want to read the character %c, ampersand symbol to be used. Ampersand indicates address of the variables and to read the data. But what is mean by fscanf now? I want to read the data from the files. What is the difference of normal scanf and fscanf? What is the difference of normal scanf and fscanf? Normal scanf to read the data at a C monitor. I want to read the data from the variables. At C monitor I want to read the data. That is called as normal scanf. What is meant by fscanf? I want to read the data from the files. Variable by variable I want to read. Read the variable data from the files. That is for fscanf. How it is working of fscanf? What is the syntax? How to run off fscanf? Fscanf file scanf. Here you have to use with fp. What is meant by fp? File pointer. That means on which file, from which file you want to read the data, from the which file. After that what to be mentioned? Format specifiers. I want to read for integer %d. I want to read for string %s. Now this is a format specifier. Generally normal scanf also format specifier %d %s. How to read off that? I want to use with ampersand employee number. I mean employee number to read, ampersand employee name, ampersand employee number, ampersand employee name. What is the meaning of this here? When I use the fscanf, I want to read the data, file pointer data I want to read, that is sending to which variable? Ampersand envo, ampersand ename. Within the file already you have some data, the data will be reading into these variables, ampersand envo, ampersand ename. That is called as fscanf, to read the data from the files into variables. What is one more function you have? fprintf. Now this is for fscanf, file read the data from the files. fprintf, file printf. How it is working of file printf? What is the syntax of fprintf, file printf? How it is working of file printf here? File pointer, here also file pointer. After that format specifier, %d, %s, format specifier. After that I want to print the data, variables to be print. Employee number I want to print, after that employee name, printing on the monitor to print. This is the syntax of fprintf. What is meant by fprintf here? File printf. That means what? I want to print the details. I want to print the details. Employee number details, employee name details. Previously, I want to read the data from the files. I want to read the data from the files. But this is whatever variables I created, this data I want to putting into file pointers. Now, in this syntax, to employee number, employee name to read from the files. From the files you want to read. But in this syntax, I want to employee number, employee name, both variables I want to print into file pointers, sending to file pointers. Finally, scanf, printf, both syntaxes are similar, which is adding, f is adding. Now here f indicates file, file pointer adding. Now this is the syntaxes of fscanf and fprintf. What is the reading of fscanf? To read the variable data from the files. What is the reason of fprintf? To print the variable data into the files. To print variable data into the files. This is for writing, this is for reading. Now under this, now I want to discuss now one more type of function you have while working of files. If you want to work with file handling, one more type of function also there. What is one more type of function is there? That is called as fclose, file close. Now I want to close the file, fclose. You see which function is available here? fclose, file close, fclose, file close. Every file pointer, what is the first function to be used? fopen, file open. If I want to open the file, fopen function to be used. fopen, file name, file operation mode. Your file is opened on three modes. One is for read mode, another one is write mode, another one is append mode. Read mode is nothing but which file already there, that should be open. Write mode is nothing but whatever data you are typing, that is sending to the files. A means append mode, which file already there, you want to add the new contents into the file. But actually every file, when I open that, I am storing some data, I operated some operations, I mean for read, write or append. Once my work is completed, I want to close the file. Already I opened the file, storing some data, after manipulation I want to close the file. Without a data corruption, I mean you don't want to open the file improperly, properly to open that and properly to close. How to close the file? How to close the file without any data corruptions? fclose, fclose of fp, file pointer to close. fclose of fp called as file pointer. Which file already opened, that should be closed. This is also one function. What is the reason of fclose? Which file is already open in specified mode. Once your operations are completed, to avoid the data corruption, properly to close. That is the reason fclose, file pointer close. And see that one more function I have for the file handling, one more function you have, that is called as fread function, file read. Now this function is fclose, one more function fread function, file read. How to read the file? Actually this function is used, fread function used, f is nothing but file, read. Now here I want to read the structure data. What is meant by fread function? To read the structure data from the file. How to read off that structure data? fread ampersand. What is meant by ampersand? Indicates address of structure variable. Suppose emp. In my program I created emp structure. Structure is nothing but collection of different type of elements. Structure is a user defined data type, collection of different type of elements stored with one address is union, different address structure. How to make of fread? Address of emp. What is the meaning of address of emp? Structure pointer. It's called as structure pointer. After that I want to use with suppose I used 1. What is mean? Size of employee. Size of employee. What is mean by size of employee? I mean size of your structure. Is it one employee you want to enter or multiple employees? After that to use with the 1. What is mean by 1? Indicates only one employee I want to use. This size of employee memory creates. This 1 indicates one employee. Here finally you have to use with the FP called as file pointer. Address of employee, structure, size of employee, 1 indicates one employee, FP called as what? File pointer. What is the meaning of fread function? I want to read the data from the structure. You are already created employee structure. The details I want to read from the files. You are already created some file. Within the file some structure is there, that to be read. For that reason you have to go for fread. Now similar way you have one more function, fwrite. What is meant by fwrite function? File write. Previously fread called as file read. You want to read the file, you want to read the structure data from the file. Here you want to read the structure data from the file. What is meant by fwrite function? You want to write the structure data into the file. Writing of structure into the file. How to make of that? fwrite address of employee structure, same syntax. Size of employee, I mean one employee. Size of employee means employee structure how much memory. Employee structure how much memory? 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 16 bytes, comma 1. 1 means one employee. After that FP called as file point. What is the meaning of this function here? Already I created employee details. That I want to send to the files. Now this is for already you have the file. Within the file structure detail to be read. Now here structure detail to be read. But this is what? Structure detail you want to send to the file pointer. Now this is for writing. This is for reading. fread, fwrite. But both are used for file handling. How to read the structure data, how to write the structure data. But both functions, how to read and how to write, with the help of binary mode. Binary mode only it is used. How to read off, how to write off the data with the help of binary mode only used. Binary mode. Generally normal file, if I want to write to the normal file, what is the operation mode? W. If I want to read the normal file, writing W. If I want to write the data into binary mode, WB. W indicates write the data in the text file, normal mode. WB called as write the data in the binary mode. Structure can be used. Similarly R. What is meant by R? Indicates read the file in normal mode. Read the file in the text data. If I use with RB called as read the data in the binary mode. Structure data can be read in the binary. One more is A for append. Normal mode you can append. If I use with AB, append binary. Finally, what is the difference of that normal write operation and write binary? W called as normal file writing, WB called as write binary. Normal read called as read the file, RB called as read the binary. A called as append a normal file, A B called as append a binary. Finally, these are for structure file read and write. Now in this file handling you have many functions are there, list of functions. Those functions are used to make with file handling, store the data and manipulate the data purpose. Finally, what is my conclusion here? Working of the file handling in C language, you have many functions are there. Those functions already defined by C author. Which are the functions are there? F open, F close, F get C, F put C, F scanf, F printf, F read, F write, F close. What is the advantage of file handling now? Whatever data you are typed in the C program that you want to send to the files. What is mean by file? Information stored into hard disk location. Anytime you can open it, anytime manipulate it, anytime retrieve it, anytime delete. It is a permanently stored. Under which location? Either hard disk drive or pen drive or CD. If I want to work with file handling in C programs, you have some functions are there, predefined functions. Those are available on which other file? std lib.h, standard library. Some function available on stdio.h. But every file which is one important variable require, file pointer should be used. What is the difference of normal pointer and file pointer? Normal pointer to call the address of variable, file pointer to call the address of the file. If I am creating abc.txt, the file where it is located, C drive, D drive, which location? Which are the file operation mode you have? R. R is nothing but read the file, which is already consists. W called as write the file into store some data. Write the file and store some data. A called as appending. I mean which file already there, you want to append the new contents and store into file. Major operation modes are read, write, append. Once you create the file in the notepad, .txt called as notepad. Once you create the file in the notepad, permanently you can store. Every day you can manipulate your data and you can make printout also, reports also prepare, printout also, and your operation completed means you can close. These are the major operations to work with the files. Okay. That's all for today. Today I want to stop this file handling process functions. Then tomorrow I can continue for this, how to work the file handling practically, how to use of that file operation modes. Tomorrow session I will continue this. Thank you for this video. Hello students, welcome to the C language training program. Today I want to discuss with how to operate the files in C programming language. Now in the last session I discussed the basics about file handling in C language. What is mean by file? File is nothing but you want to store some information, specified location, either hard disk drive or pen drive or CD. What is the definition of the file? A collection of information stored into one location, the location called as file. Either hard disk location or secondary storage devices, either pen drive or CD can be stored. What is the drawback of C language programs? If I compile the C language program, you can run the program, you can input some data, you can get some output, but input and outputs are not stored permanently. One day you compile the program, you can run the program. Suppose your program is addition of two numbers, you can enter the numbers, after input you can get the answer, but that information is temporarily stored. but you want to store your information permanently within the files. What is the reason of file handling? C program input and outputs to save as a file. Once you save the file in any location, anytime open the file, anytime manipulate the file. Manipulation is nothing but you can add the contents, or you can modify the contents, or you can remove the contents, you can open the contents. Once you save the file, anytime open it, modify it and printing also. That is possible with the help of file handling. Basically two operations for the file handling. One is for notepad data, how to send it to the C language monitor. Another operation is C language data, how to send it to the files. If you type any C program, how to send it to the notepad. What is one more you have? If you type any notepad content, how to send it to the C monitor. These are the major operations to work with files. One more is every file handling you have to go for file pointer. Generally pointer called as address of the variable. File pointer is nothing but to find out address of the file. Wherever you are store the files, the file address will be located with the help of file pointer. I mean path of the file. Is it your file is stored under C drive or D drive, any specified folder, which location you store the file, the path of the file can be recognized with the help of file pointer. Major difference of normal pointer trace out the variable address, file pointer trace out the hard disk memory, that means a file address. Wherever your file is there, the address will be find out. Every file pointer you have to use with one function, fopen function. If you want to work with files, which is the first function to be operate, fopen function. What is meant by fopen? File open. Every file is opened with basically two operations. One is for basically file name, first to be argument is file name, second argument is mode of the file. Every file open function, two arguments required. First argument is name of the file, which file to be create. Second operation is mode of the file. Which are the file operation modes you have? Three types of operation modes are there. Basically three types of operations. One is for W mode. What is meant by W? Indicates write the file and store some data. One more operation you have R. What is meant by R? Indicates read the file. Which file already there? To read the file, open the file, read the contents. One more operation mode you have A for append the file. I mean which file already there? Append the contents, add the contents into the existing file. These are the major file operation modes, write mode, read mode, append mode. Write mode is nothing but to write the file and store some data. Read mode is nothing but which file is already exist, you open it and you read the contents. A is nothing but append the contents into the existing file. These are the basically three operation modes. Once your file is open, whenever your operation is completed, I mean store the data, manipulation of data, retrieve the data, without data corruption, the file to be closed. Which file is already opened in the memory, after usage of the file to close the file. With the help of which function you have? Fclose. What is meant by fclose function? File close. Which file is already open and operating the operations, finally close the file pointer. Fclose of file pointer. And while working of file handling, basically two types of files we have. One is for text file, another one data files. Text files are nothing but notepad notepad program to store the data, which is the extension of notepad.txt, your file information stored on notepad. What is meant by .dat? Data files. Those files are separately created and those files are opened with any program. Those files are opened with any program. I mean MS Word or WordPad, any type of program can be opened. It is a special type of the file. .txt indicates text files. .dat indicates data files. Finally, what is my conclusion? Why you have to go for the files? Every C program, whatever inputs and outputs you giving, those inputs and outputs are actually not stored permanently, but your request is, if you execute any C program, you compile it, once you run it, whatever inputs you giving and what is your outputs and what is your results, you want to make on the paper, print, you want to submit the reports, but that is not possible generally, because every inputs and outputs are temporary screen, it will be run. But whatever input and output screen is there, exe file screen is there, the data I want to store it into files, that file I want to print. Once your information stored on the hard disk or pen drive or CD, your information permanently loaded, then you can open it, you can modify it, you can print it. That is the reason to go for files. You see the syntaxes of file operations, how to create the files, what are the syntaxes are giving. You see that now what are the syntaxes are there for the file working time. You see file handling in the C language. In C programs, data files and text files. Data files are operated with the .dat, data files. Text files are operated with .txt. Data files are opened with any program and text files are opened with a notepad. It can be manipulated. To use any file, it must be loaded into the memory. Which memory can be loaded here? Either hard disk memory or a secondary storage device, either pen drive or CD, any location to be loaded. In C programs, the file pointer, what is the reason of file pointer? It indicates the file stored, wherever the file is stored, that can be found. The file pointer, I mean the address of the file can be found. You see that what is the function you have? fopen. What is meant by fopen? File open. How to use this function? This function used to open the required file in the required mode. You want to open the file in the required mode and returns file pointer where the file is stored. If it is unable to open the file, it returns. If it is unable to open the file, which will be returns? Null. If unable to open the given mode, it returns the null. Null is nothing but no value. It is a constant. Null is nothing but no value. It is a constant. What is the syntax of that? file. Star indicates pointer, file pointer. How to create the file? file, it is a data type, uppercase. file uppercase, star pointer. File pointer equal to fopen, file open. What is the first argument you have? Name of the file. Second argument to be denote mode of the file. What are the file operation modes are there? You see that, which is already I discussed, W. What is meant by W? Indicates write mode, to create the file and store some data. W indicates to create the file and store some data, write mode. A, what is meant by A? Indicates to add the contents or append the contents to the file. R indicates to read the data from the file. which file is already there, that should be open. 3 operation modes are there, any one can be used. You see some example, FILG file. How to create the file pointer? FILG file, uppercase, *FP called as file pointer. How to work off that? FP equal to fopen, file open. The first argument should be maintained file name of the file. What is my name of the file? I giving guna.txt, notepad file I want to create. By default this file located at which location? Your C program saved on which location? Same location. Suppose my program is saved under C:/tc bin. Every C program I saved a tc bin, that location only the file is saved. If I want to save another location, enter the path. Suppose I want to create the guna.txt under D drive, you can mention the path. If you are not mention the path, this is stored under which location? tc bin. By default location, turbo C folder, bin folder, based on the user requirement to open the file. After that, W. What is meant by W? Indicates write the file. To make a new file, under which location? tc bin location, guna.txt. If I use with R instead of W, R. What is meant by R? Denotes read the file. If the file already created, guna.txt, the file content should be open and read the characters. If the file already there in the location, I want to open the file, read the characters. Instead of R, if I put A, what is meant by A? Indicates the file already there, add the new contents, appending. The file already there, some contents, I want to append that based on our requirement to open the files. Fclose. What is meant by fclose function? File close. Which opened memory is already created, the file should be closed to avoid data corruption. Suppose whenever the file is opened properly not closed means maybe chance of data corrupted, data is lost. To close the file, fclose function to be used. How to use the fclose function? Fclose file pointer. What is the example now? Fclose fp called as file pointer. Now you see, I want to discuss with one more function, fputc function. Whatever functions I discussed, these functions already defined by C language author. These functions available on which other file? stdio.h, standard input and output. Some functions available under stdlib.h, standard library. fputc function you have. What is meant by fputc function? File, put means printer, c means characters. What is the mean that? I want to print the character into the files. Whatever characters I typed, that characters I want to print into the files. You are type the characters in C monitor, but that is sending to the files. Now this function is used to store the characters what you type in the C language. Those characters I want to send it to the files, maybe data files or maybe text files in the file pointer. What is the syntax of fputc function? See the syntax. Fputc, file print characters, character variable comma file pointer. What is the mean that? Whatever characters you enter in the C monitor, each character send to the files, file pointer, each character. Fputc function, file print characters, ch comma fp, file pointer. Whatever characters reading, the character is sending to the files. What is one more function you have? fgetC function. Previous function is fputC function, it is author defined. This function used to print the character into the files. Whatever characters you typed in the C monitor, that should be sent to the files. Now, I want to discuss with the fgetC function. What is meant by fgetC function? File read characters. F is nothing but file, get is nothing but read, C is nothing but characters. What is the meaning of this function? To read the characters from the files. Which file is already created, those file characters to be read with the help of fgetC function. This function is used to read the character to the variables, but this character to read the variables from the file pointers. What is the syntax of that? Character data type variable equal to character variable equal to fgetC function. What is meant by fgetC function? File pointer. fgetC function called as file pointer. What is the mean of that? I want to read the file characters stored into variables, character variables. See the example ch is a character variable. fgetC file read characters from the fp, from the file pointer. Finally, these are the functions to be used. Which are the functions you have checked it? While working of files, majorly which function important? fopen. What is meant by fopen? File open in the required mode. What is meant by fclose? File close. Which file is already open? Store some data. To avoid the data corruption, file should be closed. Once your work is done, file should be closed. What is one more function you have? fputC. File print characters. Which characters are reading from the C monitor that I want to print to the files? fgetC function. Which characters I want to read from the files? Stored into variables. fgetC called as to read the characters from the files stored into variables. These are the functions available under file handling. You see that one simple example program, how to create the file, one simple example program, check it, how to create the file. With the help of C monitor, I want to use of that some file creation. File new, I want to create one file program, hash include std io.h, hash include std io.h. After that, I want to use with hash include conio.h, hash include conio.h. After that, I want to work with one more header file, hash include stdlib.h, hash include stdlib, standard library, stdlib called as standard library function. Now, I want to work with main function, void main. Inside of main, how to create the file, file file, uppercase. Previously, all data types are lowercase, but the file handling file keyword should be uppercase. While working of files, file handling file keyword should be uppercase. Star fp. fp called as file pointer, but this file pointer should be small letters. I want to work with a file pointer should be small letters. file file is capital, but file pointer should be small, fp. Now, I want to declare one more variable, char, character ch, character variable. After that, clr scr, clear screen, to clear the screen. Once I declare the file pointer, how to open the file? fopen function, fp equal to fopen, file open. How to work the files? First file pointer should be create, after that character variable I declare, fp equal to fopen, file open. Which file I want to open here? I want to open the file Which file I want to open? Guna.txt. By default, this file is created under which location? C drive. This file is by default created under which location? C drive TC bin. Under TC bin location the file is creates. What is my operation mode? Which operation mode I want to enter here? I want to create the file operation mode. Which operation mode I want to enter here? W. What is the indication of W? Write. W indicates write. Write the mode. Write mode should be used. After that I want to create with if fp equal to null. What is meant by fp equal to null? Null indicates no value, but null should be constant, capital letters. Every null value should be capital letter, should be used null. If the file pointer is null, that means unable to open your file, I want to print some message, printf. What is my message? File not found. The file is properly not open, file not found. Exit. Exit of 0. I mean from the memory it will be exit. From the hard disk memory it will be exit. What is the difference of break and exit? Break will be terminate the current process, but exit function terminate the memory. From the memory it will be terminates. Exit is a predefined function available on stdlib.h. Under standard library you have that exit function is there. Under standard library you have the exit. Now I want to work with while loop to be processed. While 1. What is meant by 1 indicates true, 1 indicates true, while 1, it is a boolean. Whenever it is true, here I want to use with which variable? ch. ch equal to getChar function. 1 indicates true, it is a boolean value, 1 true. ch variable equal to getChar function. What is meant by getChar function here? To read the character from the keyboard. GetChar function means when I run the program to read the character from the keyboard. If ch equal to EOF, capital letters. What is meant by EOF? End of the file. Whenever complete all content will be reading, that indicates EOF, end of the file. Whenever complete characters you typed, if you press F6 button, F6 button indicates your file is saved, end of the file, F6 or Ctrl Z. Whenever your file is end of the file, break means terminates. If the ch is not equal to EOF, f put c function I used. What is meant by f put c function? File print characters. Actually you are reading the data from the keyboard at runtime, but that characters I want to send it to the notepad. How to send it to the notepad? File pointer, f put c, ch is nothing but each variable reading, that I want to send to the fp called as what? File pointer. Which file name I used? Guna.txt. Here already I used Guna.txt. In that location only I want to save. Now I want to go for f put c ch comma fp. Now I want to close the while loop. While loop should be closed. Once I read off that, while loop should be closed. After that, file to be closed, file operation to be closed. Once I send the data, file operation close. To avoid the data corruption, file to be closed. Finally get ch to end of the main. Now you see that. Now I want to save this program. Now. Go to file, save option. I want to save this program. Save the file. What is my name of the file I used? my1.c. My program name is my1.c. my1.c I saved the file name. You see that if I compile the program, here double quotes, not single quotes, now W indicates write mode. If I compile the program, no error. If I run the program, now the cursor waiting your inputs on your monitor to type the characters. Character should be typed. Suppose I am typing Surya is, letter by letter I am typing, Surya is one of the student for C language course. Just I typed some content. Whenever I type the content of this, automatically the character by character it will be reading. I have many characters, but these characters how it is reading? With the help of getChar function. GetChar function reading character by character until end of the file. How to end of the file? F6 button. F6 means save the content and close it. Otherwise Ctrl Z also use. Ctrl Z also use or F6 also use. Ctrl Z or F6. You see that whenever I type this Ctrl Z or F6, the content will be saved. Ctrl Z or F6. F6 also use or Ctrl Z also use. Once the content is saved, you see that how to verify this file is created or not. Go to the DOS shell. Go to the DOS shell. Here I want to go for type. What is my file name? Type. Here I used type type. What is my file name? Guna.txt. You see that under guna.txt which content will be saved? Surya is one of the student for C language course. Actually this content I typed on C monitor, but this content is permanently stored under which location? Notepad. Under Turbo C3 bin location, Notepad it will be saved. You see that. Otherwise you can verify also. How to verify? Go to the start Notepad. Under Notepad, file open. Under open which location? C drive. Under C drive which location? Under C drive you have that Turbo C location. Under disk, under Turbo C3, under bin. In that location observe Guna file. Previously Guna file does not exist. In this Turbo C3 bin location, Guna file previously does not exist. Just now it is created, date and time also. 25th September 4:28 p.m. this file is created. How much memory occupied? 1 KB it will be taken. Open it. Now this content is open. Actually this content where I typed C monitor, while execution of C program I typed, but that content is saved on which location? In the Notepad it will be location. Notepad location it will be saved. That is the reason to go for the files. Now you see, if I go for this, go to the Notepad location where it will be located, this program where you can find out. Go to the my computer, C drive, Turbo C++ folder, disk folder, Turbo C3 bin. In that location the file is created. What is my name of the file? Guna.txt. You can open this file anytime and you can add the content also, and you can click the save option, and you can print also, print option. If I click the print option, printer is ready, print. Open it, modify it, delete it, print it. Because this file is permanently stored or temporarily stored. Permanently stored. This content actually taken from C language. Finally, in this observe. Finally, in this program, which operation I completed now? In this program, first I created guna.txt file. The file is actually does not exist. The file is does not exist. It's newly creates. W indicates write the new file and store some data. Whatever data you are typing in the C monitor, the data will be sending to the Notepad. It is permanently stored. By default, which location it is stored? C drive, TC bin location, Turbo C3 bin location. Once your file is stored into the notepad, you can open it, you can modify it, you can delete it, you can print it. But in this program, which functions are used? fopen function. Fopen means file open, name of the file, which operation mode. And one more function I used, getChar function. What is meant by getChar function? To read the characters from the files. Sorry, to read the character from the keyboard. From the keyboard you want to read the characters. The character I want to send to the files. How to send it to the files? fputc function. First I want to read the character. Character by character I want to read. Each character how to send it to the files, which functions I used? fputc function. The character is sent to the fp file pointer. Until which character I want to send that? If ch equal to eof. What is meant by eof? Indicates end of the file. If I press the F6 button or Ctrl Z, your file is ends. The content will be transferred to the files. Once your operation is completed, you are writing the file and you store some data, then I want to close it. How to close that? fclose function. File pointer should be closed. Now, totally this program just write the file guna.txt, store it and read and print it. What is my next request? I want to work with read mode. Previous program just a write mode. Now, I want to explain one more program how to read the existing file. How to read the existing file using file pointers. If I want to write means W operation. If I want to read means R operation mode. Whenever you are working with file pointer printing time, fputc function. Previous program your character send it to the files. But in this program I want to use with I want to read the character from the files. Using which function? fgetC function I want to run. Now, I want to request of program how to read the existing file using file pointers. You see the program now how to read the existing file using file pointers. Now, I want to create one program here. What is my program? Write a program to read a text file, using file pointer. Which file is already there that I want to read that? Hash include std io.h, hash include conio.h. Now, I want to work with one more header file stdlib.h, standard library. In that you have exit function is there, void main. How to create the files? file file uppercase *fp, file pointer, char ch, character variable. After that clear screen, fp equal to fopen. fp equal to fopen, file open. Which file to be open now? Which file I want to open? guna.txt file I want to open. But what to be remember, in that location guna.txt file available or not, that should be verified. Already guna.txt file already available. R means read mode. Just now I created guna.txt that I want to read. If fp equal to null, capital letters. Whenever the file pointer is null, it is not recognize that file. In that location the file does not recognize. I mean guna.txt file does not recognize. What is the message? File not found. I want to print the message file not found. Exit. Exit means come out the memory, hard disk memory. While 1 means true. Whenever the condition is true here, I want to read. Already I declare ch. Ch is a variable character, but the ch variable I want to read the data from the files. fgetC function. how to read the data from the files? F get C function, file read characters of FP, file pointer. What is the meaning of this FP? File pointer. In that file pointer, which file is there? Guna.txt file is there. In that guna.txt file, each character reading into CH until which character? EOF, end of the file. If CH equal to EOF, end of the file. Whenever CH equal to end of the file, break. Whenever the character is not equal to end of the file, I want to print on the monitor, PUTCHAR, putchar. What is meant by putchar function? Which character already reading from the file pointer that I want to print on the monitor. Getchar function read the keyboard. Putchar function print the monitor, on the monitor to print the characters. C monitor. After that, F close, file close of FP to avoid the data corruption, F close. Get CH to end of the main. See the program. What is my program actually here? I want to read the text file, any text file using file pointer. How to read of that? FP equal to F open something, any file, but this file should be exist on that location, C drive TC bin. R is nothing but read the file. If the file pointer equal to null, null indicates no value, at that time file is not found. Exit means come out the memory, exit the function. While 1 indicates true, it is a boolean while. Here I declare CH variable. In that CH variable, I want to read the character from the files. Which file already there? In that file, each character will be read into the CH. After that, if CH equal to EOF, end of the file, whenever until end of the letter it will be reading, I want to break. If it is not end of the file, I want to print on the character monitor, PUTCHAR putchar. Putchar is nothing but the given character print on the monitors. Getchar function means to read the character from the keyboard. To avoid the data corruption, F close and get CH. You see the program now. My2.c, my2.c here. Now I want to compile this program, check it, my2.c, my2.c, I want to open it and my2.c to be run. I want to open my2.c. Here I want to open my2.c, that is for read program. Now I want to compile it, then I want to run. There is no error, there is no warning. I want to run off this. Now I want to run this, then I want to get the answer. Now here, if I compile it, after that I want to run. You see that Surya is one of the student for C language course, and whatever matter right there, that complete content will be reading. This content actually I am not typed under C monitor. This content is reading from the files, because here I used which operation mode? Read operation mode. Here I used a read mode. Suppose I try to find out, I want to open manoj.txt. Previously guna.txt file reading, because the file exists reading. Now I want to open the file manoj.txt. You see that if I save and if I compile it, if I run it, you see that what is a error coming here, check it. If I compile it, if I run it, you see that what is the message? File not found, because in that location there is no manoj.txt. The file does not exist. If I put the guna.txt, the file is exist, you can open it, you can read it. If the file guna.txt file already exists, that is the reason to read it, to open it. If unknown file I giving, it is not tracing, it should be given the error, that is called as file not found. Finally, in this program I read the contents from the guna.txt, and printing on the C monitor. But you see that now this result is actually small letters or capital letters, small letters. My content is lowercase letters, but my request is this file content I want to convert to the uppercase. How to convert to the uppercase? Now in the same program, whatever content I am reading and printing on the monitor, it is lowercase letters, but I want to print it as capital letters. How to print off that? If CH greater than or equal to 97, what is meant by 97 indicates ASCII value of small letters, and CH less than or equal to 122, I mean small z, 97 for small a ASCII value, 122 for small z ASCII value, that I want to convert to the capital letters. How to convert a lowercase letter to uppercase with ASCII value method? CH equal to CH minus 32. What is mean by CH equal to CH minus 32? Actually 97. 97 minus 32, 65. 65 means it is equal to capital A. Capital letters will be run. That is the reason I want to convert. That means lowercase letters convert to the uppercase. This is my process. Save as. If I use with my3.c, the given characters actually lowercase, but I want to convert to the uppercase. That my request. You see the program now, my3.c. If I compile it, it's okay. If I run it, actually the previously guna.txt contents are lowercase, but it is opened with uppercase because in this program, which is my condition I used, wherever character above 97, wherever character below 122, it's a lower a to lower z. It is convert to the CH equal to CH minus 32. What is the mean that 97 minus 32, 65. That is the reason ASCII value model, it is convert to the uppercase. Now finally in this program, the file content will be reading and it is opening and it is convert to the uppercase. If I want to convert lowercase, if the characters are lowercase, that is convert to upper. If I want to convert upper to lower, at that time CH greater than or equal to 65, 65 indicates uppercase A, CH greater less than or equal to 90, 90 indicates capital Z, 65 indicates capital A, 90 indicates capital Z. At that time how to convert to the lowercase? CH equal to CH plus 32. At that time 65 plus 32, 97. At that time lowercase converts. Finally, in this program I want to use, in this program I discussed with file handling this program. If I read the file, any file if I read that, if the characters are lowercase letters, that I want to convert to the uppercase based on the ASCII value. How to convert that? If the CH is above 97, equal to 97, CH is less than or equal to 122, I mean small z or equal to z, that should be convert to the uppercase. How to convert? What is the expression now? CH equal to CH minus 32. At the time 97 minus 32, 65, it is convert to the uppercase letters. Now today class I discussed with how to write the file and how to read the file. Using file operation modes, how to write the new file and store some contents into the notepad, and one more is how to read the file, which file is already there in the notepad, I want to open it and read it. And some more file functions in the tomorrow session, in the next session I will continue some more file functions. Thank you for this video. Hello students, welcome to the C language training program. Today I want to discuss with which are the file functions we have, which are the file functions in C programming language. Now the last sessions I discussed how to work with some file operations. Which are the file operations we have that I discussed. How to create the file, what to be create first, file pointer. What is meant by file pointer? Wherever the file is stored in the hard disk memory, that address will be find out with the help of file pointer. File pointer syntax file star fp, file pointer equal to fopen, file open. Two arguments are required, one is for file name and another argument is file operation mode. Which are the file operation modes are there? Three types of file operation mode. W indicates write the file and store some data. R indicates read the file, which file is already created, you want to read the file. A for append the file operations, which file is already there, you want to add the contents into existing file. To go for A operation, append the data. How to create the file? fopen, name of the file, operation mode. And how to read the characters from the file pointer? How to read the characters from the file pointer? fgetC function to be used. What is meant by fgetC? File read characters from the files. Which file is already created? Those file character by character you want to read with the help of fgetC function. What is the syntax of fgetC function? Character variable equal to fgetC, file pointer to be used. What is one more function for file handling? One more function you have fputC. What is meant by fputC? File print characters. Suppose whatever characters you typed in the C monitor, those character data send to the files with the help of fputC function. fputC called as file print characters. Which characters are already typed in the C monitor, those character to be sent to the files. What is one more function you have? One more function is there, fclose. What is meant by fclose function? Which file is already open? You are operating some operations, read the data, write the data or retrieve the data. Once your file operations are completed, how to close the file? fclose, file pointer to be used. To avoid the data corruption, the file pointer must be closed. How to close the file pointer? fclose, within the brackets, file pointer to be used. These are the major functions used for files. Which are the major functions used for files? fopen, fgetC, fputC, fclose. If I want to read the character from the keyboard, which function to be used? GetChar function to be used. GetChar function used to read the character from the keyboard at execution time. To read the character from the keyboard at execution of program. Putchar function is there. What is meant by putchar function? Print the character. Which character is already you are reading, that character to be print on the monitor with the help of putchar function you have. Now the last session I discussed some programs about file operations. Now today also I want to discuss with some file operation programs, file function programs. What is one program I have? I want to read the file. Which file is already there? I want to read the file. Which file data will be there? The file data to be read, and the content I want to convert to the uppercase, and those data I want to send to the new file. What is my program? To read one file, the content I want to copy to the another new file. Now in this program, two file pointers to be used. One is for source pointer, it is called as file source. Another one pointer file target, it is called as file target. What is the reason of file source? Which file is already there? You want to read the contents from the file source pointer. Once I read the characters from the file source, those characters I want to send it to the new file. The file to be used with the file target. Finally, two operation modes. Source file to be work with the read operation mode, target file to work with the write operation mode. Both operation mode to be operate here in single program. How to make of that now? You see the program. How to make the program here? Check it now. What is my program? Write a program to read text data from the file and copy into one file and the data converted into uppercase letters. What is my question? To read the characters or to read the text from the file, and the characters I want to copy to the another file, in which case uppercase. What is the problem here? To read the character from the files, and those characters I want to copy to new file in uppercase characters. Now you see that how it is working of that. You see that hash include stdio.h, after that hash include conio.h. While working of files, which header file to be open? stdlib.h, standard library. Under stdlib.h, some function available, exit function, you have some file functions. Now I want to start with main. Inside of main, file file. File file is a data type. I want to declare with the two pointers. The first pointer called as file source, the next pointer called as file target. One is for file source, another one is file target. After that I want to declare char character variable ch, it's a normal character, star src, it's called as character pointer. Character pointer is also called as string. Character pointer is equal to string, and one more character pointer star trg, target. Now totally here two file pointers, f source, f target, two normal pointers, source file name, target file name. Now you see that clear screen. First I want to enter the source file. What is my first message? Enter the source file to be copy. I mean which file I want to enter the source file name. How to read the source file name? Scanf percentages. What is meant by percentages? Indicates a string, it treated as string. But actually in this program src is a pointer variable, that is the reason don't give the ampersand symbol. Because of src already pointer, don't use the ampersand symbol, it's already address creates. First I want to enter the source file name, I mean which file to be copy. Fs equal to, I mean file source equal to fopen, source comma r. What is meant by r? Indicates read the file. Which file is already there? The file should be read, that is source file. If fs equal to null, I mean the source is null, I want to print the message. Which message I want to print? Source file does not exist. Source file does not found. After that exit. Exit called as come out the memory from the compiler. Here come out the memory from the hard disk. After that printf enter the target file. Now I want to work with enter the target file. How to enter the target file name? Target file name. Scanf percentages. Now here string. But actually your target is a already character pointer. That is the reason don't use ampersand symbol. Just you have to enter the trg. It's a target file name. Now the first argument is source file name, next argument is target file name. ft called as file target, fopen file open, target file name comma W. Now here source file is read mode, target file is write mode to write the new file. Whenever the target is equal to null, if the file target equal to null, unable to open the target file. What is my message I expected now? The file is does not open. Some reason the file is does not open. Exit the memory. While 1, what is mean by while 1 indicates it's a boolean while, 1 for true. Now I want to read the characters from the source. How to read the characters from the source? fgetC function to read the characters from the source file. Each character to be read into ch variable, each character. Whenever ch equal to EOF, what is mean by EOF indicates end of the file. From the starting letter to ending letter, all characters reading, end of the file. Break. All characters will be reading. If the characters are greater than or equal to 97, if the characters are less than or equal to 122. What is the meaning of this condition? Your reading characters are lowercase letters. 97 indicates small a, 122 indicates small z. If your characters are small letters, I want to convert to the capital letters. How to convert ch minus equal to 32? What is mean by ch minus equal to 32? Ch equal to ch minus 32. It is convert to the uppercase. 97 minus 32 uppercase. Once I convert to the uppercase, I want to print on the monitor put care of ch. Actual work is to read the source file characters until end of the file to be read. If the characters are 97 and 122 between, those characters are lowercase. Those characters should be convert to the uppercase. How to convert that? ch minus equal to 32. Once those characters are converted, I want to print the monitor putchar function to be used. Putchar is nothing but print the characters on the monitor. Once I print the characters, those characters I want to send it to the target file. I want to send it to the target file with the help of which function? fputC function. What is meant by fputC function now? File print character. fputC called as file print characters. Whatever character already reading from the source, those character will be sent to the target. These characters send it to target. Finally, I want to close the file, fclose of fs. Source file to be closed. Next, I want to close the target file also, fclose of ft. File target also to be closed. Finally, get ch to end of the main. Now you see, now I want to compile this program. When I compile this program, I want to read the source file contents. That character should be copied to the target file. But source file name to be entered at runtime. Target file name also enter at runtime. If your source file characters are lowercase, that is convert to the uppercase. And printing on the monitor, send it to the target. This is the program. You see that when I compile and run this program, check it. Now I want to compile it and run this program. To read the file characters and copy to new file. Now I want to save. What is my name of the program I saved? files1.c. Inside of Turbo C editor I want to open that. Turbo C editor to open here. File open. Here I used file open. In that open I want to use with file1.c, file1.c, sorry, files1.c here, files1.c. Here I used it with the files1.c, file file, files1.c. Whenever I created with the files1.c here, check the program. Now I want to read the source file, then that characters I want to copy to the another new file. In the last session already I created with one source file, guna file already created the last session. What is my source file name? I want to copy guna.txt. I want to copy guna.txt. This file already exists. This file already exists. Those contents I want to copy into new file, uppercase characters. Now this is source file, which to be entered now, target file. What is my target file? I used suresh.txt. suresh.txt. What is the mean of this? Guna.txt contents copy into suresh.txt. Guna.txt already source file, those characters are copied to suresh.txt. Now it is converted into uppercase and copied. If I press enter, you see this content is guna.txt content. Surya is one of the student for C language course and this content is uppercase letter, it will be displayed. The same content copied to the suresh.txt also. How to verify is it copied or not? Go to file menu, DOS shell. Here also you can verify. Go to file menu, DOS shell. Here also you can verify. One command is there. Which command is there? Type command. With help of type command you can verify. type, type. What is my old file? Guna.txt, old file. Type command actually, guna.txt. Now I want to check with another file. Now you see guna.txt actually old content is lower case. Type, which file? Already new file created, suresh.txt. One file is guna.txt, existing file, the contents are lower case. New file is suresh.txt, copying, and the contents are uppercase. Guna.txt source file lower case, suresh.txt contents are uppercase, but the contents are same. Now this is the process here to be used to copy one file contents into another file in uppercase letters. Now see, now I want to discuss with one more file functions. Here I want to use with one more file functions we have. What is the next file function I want to discuss now? fprintf. One more new file function I have, fprintf. What is meant by fprintf? File printf. Fprintf called as file printf. Generally C language, what is the reason of printf? The variable outputs will be displayed on the monitor or the messages will be displayed on the monitor. Printf is a output function of C language. Printf function available on which other file? stdio.h. General printf function to print the variable output on the C monitor or message also you can print. But here I want to use with fprintf. What is meant by fprintf? I want to print the data. I want to print the data into the files. What is the meaning of fprintf? File printf. Whatever variables you created in C monitor, those details I want to print on the files. Suppose I am reading employee number, employee name, salary, those details I want to print on the files. You see the description here. What is meant by fprintf? This function store the data into the file. If I want to store the data into the file with the help of fprintf, variable data storing. You see the syntax of that? fprintf. First argument is file pointer. Next argument is format strings. Format string is nothing but %d, %s, %f based on your types. Format specifier, comma variables, which variable to be print. What is a normal printf syntax? Same syntax, format string variables.